So I'm going to start the video off with the hair. I just did a twist and I'm going to leave it like this. But when I tell you I untwist it and then like pull it apart, that's how I usually sleep with it like this. I roll it under like that so that it's up. And then when I untwist it, so you can see it keeps the texture, the natural texture without, losing the texture of the hair. And then I can easily just take it apart and then I can just stuff it up there, and that's easy. So I'm going to do a video. I did an interpretation of the day earlier, and I'm just going to talk about this. This is a sweatshirt I wore when I was painting, and it has like paint all over it, and I'm going to kind of go off that. So pretty much why I'm doing it this way is because the people talking want to contribute, and this way I can just kind of take something and talk about it, and they can't talk in the background ahead of what I'm saying. They yelled out the window because, again, what I said in a previous video was that they want to ride my coattails, and I wondered why. And one time they got me so upset one night, I said, you know what? The people I know who are involved weren't good enough. And they got really upset when I said that, but I said exactly why. These were people, and that's what I think about these types of people doing this to victims. They weren't good enough on their own. So they feel like a lot of nothing will be something. No, a lot of nothing will never be something. If you can't do something on your own, then you shouldn't be doing that. And I used to tell people this, and I say this a lot. Anybody who knows me knows I say this. Everyone has a talent. You find what you're good at. If you're not good at something, don't do it. So they had said at one point they thought I was going to be in a yellow bikini jumping on a trampoline in YouTube videos. First of all, I wouldn't be good at those videos. I'm not going to do it. And they think that in their minds that human beings have to be able to do everything. No, there's a reason why we have people who do certain things and other people who do other things. We're not meant to do everything perfectly. Everyone wasn't meant to be everything. And I think as a female, and I'm going to do the riff on that, as a female, I had to learn that. I'm not going to be good at everything. I'm not going to be that person. And I'm not going to try it. So if I try something and I'm not good at it, I'm not going to do it. I used to tell a friend of mine, and I think I told other people this too, I really don't like driving. I prefer not to drive. It's not that I'm a horrible driver. I haven't had an accident, but I'm not a good driver. So it's not something I enjoy doing. It's not something I would like, oh, I'm the greatest driver. Nah. So for many years, I had a car. It was stolen. The people doing this said they were responsible for my car being stolen. I believe that. I believe them. They said, oh, didn't you have an accident? I never had an accident. I never had an accident. They said, did you get a parking ticket once? Yeah, I got a parking ticket once. Who cares? But I'm not somebody who would say, I love driving. I'm a great driver. I'm not a good driver. Doesn't mean I had an accident. No. Did I hurt anyone? No. But is it something I do? No. And that's okay. Like, I feel like, there used to be a Saturday Night Live skit with oh man, now I'm forgetting his name. And he would say like daily affirmations. You guys know more than I know. And he would sit in the mirror and say, I'm good enough. I'm good. And and that's okay. Meaning like it's okay in this world for us as human beings to pick what we do best and do that thing. So once I picked in life what I did best, I did that thing. And that was what people would say, oh, you're really good at that. I didn't have to work so hard at it. I didn't have to push too far. So, of course, they're going to say, well, it wasn't there. Come on. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They try too hard. That's how I should have phrased it. Oh, you know how sometimes you talk about something and then after you get it, you're like, oh, that's it. They try too hard. That's why I call them pathetic. That's why I call them cold. riders, coattail riders, because they try too hard. But they don't just try too hard with me. They try too hard with other people. So that's what manipulative people do. That's what I'm going to title this. It took me how many minutes? I can't even see. I got to look at my glasses. I can't even see with the glasses. How many minutes did it take me to come up with that? They try too hard. That's what manipulative people do. So the reason why I wanted to show you this, and this is pretty much what I was going to say in the video with this, I usually have this around the back of this chair. And, you know, they said, oh, in my videos, I'm going to start dressing up and I'm going to do my hair in all these fancy ways. Why don't you wear your headband? Why don't you put I have a crown tiara that I'm probably going to sell. The other one, I don't know what I'm going to do it. They're like, why don't you do that? Because I don't want to try too hard. I don't want to try too hard. I'm 49 years old. I don't want to try too hard. I don't want to be that person. So they said, oh, didn't you ever try too hard when you were in high school or whatever? No, I was just me. They said, didn't you tell jokes in high school or just kind of talk? I do that today. I mean, if that's considered trying too hard, then you guys are trying too hard to make it seem like I'm trying too hard. And that's my point with these types of people. So going back to how a manipulative person operates is they try too hard. They try too hard to be what you want them to be in the beginning, and then afterwards, they can't keep up the act. They can't. And they just all of a sudden can't do it anymore. So I'm telling the people doing this, they said they wanted all my life stories, they wanted all this or that, because then I'm going to create some sort of, I guess, another book or whatever. But the whole point is they try too hard, and that's what made me realize something's wrong. Anybody who tries too hard, there's a problem. If you have to interview people who've met me, why? What are you trying to do? Well, part of it was identity theft. Another part was putting me in like 1 million books. Then they said they were using me in like videos and trying to use me to get men. I don't know. If you got to use me to get men, trust me, you got bigger problems, okay? There must be other women in the world besides me. The other thing they said was they were trying a technology where they stimulate parts of my head, hit me in my body, and try to get me to respond like I'm an animal, which goes to show if they're saying this to people and people are like, cool, yeah, that sounds great. Those are the people I need to be away from. I want them to tell people that, and people say, what the fuck is that? We don't do that to people. I wouldn't do that to any animal. So they would say, well, would you do it to a mouse? Not if I could avoid stimulating mouse brains and hitting them with stuff. That wouldn't be something I would want to do. Do you get what I'm saying? So we're living in a world where these people do this because they think it's good. It's okay. I don't. Do I stimulate mouse brains and hit them in bodies? No. So they say, would I ever? Again, this is the type of people. They try too hard. They try too hard to be something they're not. They try too hard to appear some way they're not. I haven't. I told you folks, this is who I am. Anybody who has ever met me says this is the same person she was when I met her before. Anybody. Like, I've met people and like, oh, hi, I know you from so-and-so. So they were also offended by that I said this. People usually recognize me, and they recognize me and know me before I recognize and know them. Sometimes it's simply because I'm in another world doing something. I might not recognize someone or notice somebody. But people recognize and know me, and I'm the same person I've always been. I don't change. I guess because I probably wouldn't know how to be anyone else. But going back to what a manipulative person does is a manipulative person, and this is a form of manipulation, stimulating my head, hitting my body. You can tell on my shoulder I have like I don't know if you guys can see it. I have something that if you touch it, it moves. I have it in my throat too. It kind of looks like these lumps, but they're deeper. And when I first started looking into this and researching, other people, they called it an implant. I thought they meant like a computer chip implant. I was like, oh, no, they just mean like it's like a clog. Maybe it's a clog pore sometimes. Sometimes it's like something your body forms when it's been hit with something. So it's like, I guess it's when your body's being hit with something, it forms it. So they wanted to confuse different things with these implants. I'm not going to confuse anything with the implants. They are doing this to people, not just me. I'm not the only one. If this is happening to you, you know it. I don't have to convince you. I don't have to try that hard. So when I'm telling you these things, people who have been through it and are experiencing it, you know for a fact I'm telling the truth. I would have no reason to lie. Most of the people who are being abused this way, we had a million other things we'd rather be doing than trying to tell people what's happening to us. So the people who are trying to manipulate us, they didn't want us to talk about this. They wanted to make us look crazy. The more this started happening to other people and the more sane we looked, the more now they're trying to ride our coattails. So now the people doing it are trying to ride our coattails and trying to say they're the victims. It just is, it's a never-ending cycle with these types of people. So the idea that these people said that they've been watching me and writing things about me since I was a child means they're the pathetic coattails that I called them. They try too hard to hide who they really are. And once I saw them, then they wanted to make me look crazy. That's the bottom line. That's point blank. If I had gone along with them, I would have been the best person ever because I would have been able to suck in more victims. That's the last thing I want to do. That's the last thing I want to do. I must tell the truth about this situation because if they've been doing this to me as a child, that's child abuse and I'm not going to go along with it. They said, if they said to me, through running back and forth in the hallways, yelling, all these other ways they say it, I would have made a lot of money had I gone, they said, with the program. I'm not the go with the program type. I'm just not. And I'm never going to be. So they said, that means I won't work again. No man will ever want me. No man wanted me before this happened. I'm okay with it. So be it. And I'm not going to try so hard. So their attempt to suggest I should wear my hair like this and I should dress like that, I'm not going to try so hard. I'll let them keep trying. Thanks for watching.